Hey, race fans, welcome back to Fun to the Finish podcast. I'm your host, Debbie Patterson. Today, you're going to hear a recording of a conversation that I had the honor and pleasure of having with David Sawyer last week. We had quite the conversation, touched on a lot of different things, aspects of him being involved in the industry, milestones that he's reached, and also some of his other hobbies and interests outside of racing. So I hope you will sit back and enjoy this conversation on Fun to the Finish podcast.
Fans to Fun to the Finish. Today I have the honor and pleasure of speaking with Mr. David Sawyer. And David, I'm excited to talk to you. We've known each other maybe for like 6 or 7 years, as long as I've been with MHHA.
Yes.
Of course, our relationship then was you were the race secretary and I was the newbie on the block, which I'm still the newbie on the block. But you've actually transitioned into doing something different with the horses, ending up in the winner's circle as a driver, which must have been exciting. But I want you, for people that don't know your story, and I don't really know your story except for race secretary, I want you to tell me about how you got started in racing, who your biggest fan is, or should I say, your biggest fan, because I'm sure you actually have a fan club, pretty positive of it. And tell me, just what keeps you going in the industry.
Well, I first got my license as a groom in 1974. In 1975, I took my trainers and drivers test at Scarborough Downs, and I got my license. And I won my first race in 1976 at Thompson Fair behind a horse called Fine D. Die, who my father bought for me for a graduation present at high school for $200.
That's not bad.
Not bad. We did go in 2:16 and 1, and I was not the favorite because I paid $55 to win, $60 to place, and $9 to show, and I did bet $2 across because that's my nature.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Like driving your own horse, winning?
It was awesome. It was amazing. And that's what really got the bug to me then. Was that that's really, when you win your first race, you just want more and more. Especially as a young kid.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. So, that's what we did. And I worked for Dad, Dad had another job, but I couldn't get down after school and go over and we'd jog horses until we put the truck up on the fence with the car and towards the lights going around. We jog at 7:30 at night. When there was no daylight. That was it. And then I went on my own in 80. Actually, I went to work for Mr. Houghton, William Houghton, back in 1980. My sister got me a job in Pompano. And I went down and worked for him for 2 years, which was a learning experience above none. The nicest man you would have ever met. To all his help, all the grooms and his trainers, just a great guy. So then I went to Foxborough in the spring of '82, working for Chet Poole, another guy who's in Florida now, and another nice guy. And I worked for him, and I worked in for about 5 or 6 months. I took a horse down, someone let me lease, called Bear Mountain Wreck. And as a young kid, they had a superfecta race in the last race at Foxborough every night. Well, I bet the year I was born, 1958, and it came in, paid $3,800.
Wow.
So I said to myself, well, I don't need nobody. I can do it. I'll just race my horse and have fun. And that's what I did. I did help Chet once in a while. And then I get Jeff Franklin, who had a hazardous waste facility down there, knew my father and asked me if I would train some horses. And that's how it all started. And I stayed there until they closed in '86, went to the Meadowlands in '87, got homesick, and came back home. And I've been here ever since. And I got into the business for a few years. I let Dave Arnold train some horses for me as I ran a couple of gas station stores with my wife.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of kids. Yep. And speed to 91 when the first child was born, Derica. And we had the store and stuff. Like I said, I had a couple of horses in. And then I started doing it myself again. That's what I wanted to do. We went to Florida. I stayed at Ocala at her parents' place in Ocala for a couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Horse capital of the world.
You ain't lying. Beautiful place. Beautiful horse country down there wherever we went. It's just beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when is the last year that you actually trained horses?
Last year I trained was 2006.
2006.
Yeah. I drove horses with my father, and I went on a crash diet in 1990. And I lost 100 pounds, and I was down to like 170, 175 pounds. And I drove horses with my father. And that was in the year. I went almost like 40 races that year with my dad.
Awesome. So can you tell me what that crash diet is? I'd like to try it.
I'll tell you just what it is. It's Brussels sprouts and chicken by George. Phyllis George used to have a chicken, I don't know what it was, but I started eating chicken 6 days a week, and every Sunday I took off to eat whatever I want.
Yeah.
And most of the time it was the clam bake. That's where I went.
That's funny.
Yeah. So then and then in the early 2000s, when Rockingham opened back up, I trucked back and forth and down the Plain Ridge too. And I had success. I was, horses raced good. I had a real good owner, Bubba Larkin, great guy. And my close friend, Brian Ascot, my real close friend, he had a few horses with us too. And him and I always, everything was a joke. Everything was fun. And it stopped getting fun in like 2004 or 5. I wasn't having fun no more. I just wasn't having fun. And I said, I'm going to go on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So I started from horse identifier to assistant paddock judge, to patrol judge, to associate judge, and I took my presiding judge's license and I passed that, and my race secretary's license I passed. And then I got the opportunity to be a race secretary in 2013, which was really my dream job. Nobody knew it. I don't, my feelings don't come on my sleeve.
Yeah.
I keep them all inside, but that was my dream job.
Yeah.
My real dream job.
So you picked the toughest thing there is.
Yes. Oh yeah. You can't make everybody happy.
Well, in the horse industry, I don't think if you can make one person happy, you've achieved something.
Yeah, exactly.
I think.
Well, and you're right, because with 10 races a day, you're only making 10 people happy.
Yeah.
Out of the 140 put in the box, the horse that wins everyone, that's all you're making happy.
Yeah.
And that's a tough job because, you have to make sure everybody opens that mailbox on Saturday morning and gets a check. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important. Because you can own a boat, you can own a snowmobile, and just spend money all the time. But these guys they like to have a little bit of money coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll chase that dream. They'll chase that dream.
Yeah.
I have.
Well, I think once they get it in their blood, in their system, you
Can't get rid of
can't.
it.
It's an addiction to make it to the winner's circle.
No, it's like me and buffets. You can't. Once I find one, I can't get away.
So we have a lot in common then. We love horse racing and we love food. That's hilarious. So you said you started in 2014. 13, being the race secretary.
Yep.
Well, and I have to tell you, so, because usually wherever I'm at any meeting, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I mean, I love racing, have loved it for a long time, but there's so many integral pieces to this industry. It's crazy. Always learning. I have to tell you that the meeting that I learned the most was when I had the pleasure of sitting with you, Kenny, Paul, Miles, and Henry. I think really understanding a little bit more what you guys had to deal with. I mean, because all three of you were racing at the same time.
Right.
So trying to work together in what is best for the horsemen. I mean, I really think that you guys, besides owning a track, I think the race secretary has the toughest job. So tell me kind of about that, like knowing all the horses, trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah, and when you make mistakes, and I made mistakes at the beginning, a couple towards the end as well, you have to call them up and tell them, listen, I made a mistake. I've got to redraw this race. I'm sorry. You have to do it. If you don't do it, you get no credibility at all.
Yeah.
You get no credibility at all. And when you put somebody in tough, they might have a few horses that fit a class, and you put one horse he's we call buried. You got to call him. Listen, I'm sorry. This week here you're in a little tough, but I'll make things work for you next week.
Yeah.
You have to do it. If you're not one-on-one with each and every one of them and listen to what they have to say, you're just a person. You're just a person, and I don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
Because inside, and Laurie Stalzilla, who worked with me for all those years, knows it eats at me. It eats at me.
Well, yeah.
It eats at me.
I can imagine. I mean, because you are. It is affecting whether a check shows up or not. So thinking back, and I was thinking this the other day, looking at some of the races that we have now. When you were there were so many more claiming races, And then we transitioned into the whole Trackmaster, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
debacle or not debacle, or I don't even know what to call Trackmaster really. But so I'm just curious, I guess, is to the evolution, I guess, of Maine Harness Racing. I mean, we're always changing, always growing. I mean, do you see a difference in racing because there's not as many claimers, or?
Well, because we've lost a lot of people in the business, had this, whether it was tax laws that force these people to get out because you can't claim these, you can't claim them. You get after so many years, you got to show a profit.
Yeah.
Well, listen, these people, the owners that we had years ago, school teachers, doctors, whatever they may be, they did it for fun. They come out and have fun.
Yeah.
And now, you start paying all the money for hay and grain. It's not fun no more. It's not fun. It's too much money. There's too much money involved. We've got to race for a lot more money. How are we going to do that? I don't have an answer. Another thing, in my opinion, is that we've got to race more than just 8 months a year. I mean, Wendy's can't make it 8 months a year. You know? McDonald's can't make it 8 months a year. And how do we do that? That's probably a question for a round table of people.
Yeah.
It really is. I think if 5 or 6, 10 people put their head together, we can make it work.
Yeah.
But we've got to be a business partner with the track.
Yes.
We've got to be a business partner. If we're not a business partner, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I've always been a proponent. Sometimes you're going to have to take a little bit of money of the purse money. Not much. I did a study of it on my own, on my very own.
Yeah.
That you could pay everybody in the race $50. Also $6, $7, $8, $50, and you could take $25,000 out of that purse account and race an extra couple of months. Give it to the track because they're the ones got the expenses, not you.
Yeah.
They got to have it. Cash flow is king. You have to have cash flow. Without cash flow, you are buried.
Yeah.
You're buried.
Yeah. I own a business. Yeah, I know how that is.
You know all about it.
Yeah,
even you have to
it's
have
stressful.
cash flow. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, years ago, when we had a lot more horses, and the people used to come to races all the time, before we had lotteries and casinos, and all, before there was one scratch ticket or one dead number, now there's hundreds of scratch tickets. They're drawn every day for the lottery. They stole that money from us.
Yeah.
They took that money from us.
Yeah.
No one stole anything, but they took the money from us.
It is. There is a lot of competition out there.
A big lot of competition.
Yeah.
But we don't have that one-on-one with a fan that we used to. We don't have that one-on-one. Everybody's working 2 jobs. Everybody's working 2 jobs to get by. So when do they have time to come to the races?
Especially now.
Yes. Especially now.
Inflation, gas prices.
And these poor horsemen that get a truck all over the countryside at $4 and $5 a gallon or $5.50 for diesel.
I know.
How is this all going to work?
That's a great question. I'm anxious to see how it does play out when we're racing 4 and 5 and 6 days stretches.
And this is where, when I was race secretary, and listen, the race secretary now at Cumberland, Mark, he's a good guy. He knows how it is. How we did it with Laurie is I'd call up, and not only do I have to put horses in the car, I can only race 2 on Saturday, I can only race 3 on Sunday, I can only come down by ship with this one. Well, you look at my desk, I had notes everywhere. Now after I put the races together, now I gotta make sure, which only makes sense, they don't want to come down with 1 horse on one day and 2 the next, traveling from wherever they come from, Bangor. So you had to accommodate. And Mark does the same thing, and Mark will do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's what you have to do because more than ever now they need that.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, Bangor is, what, a 2-hour drive at least?
Well, it's 120-something miles.
Yeah. Trucking and, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting year to see how things unfold. So what are your plans this year? Are you working with somebody, working for somebody?
I've been working for a bread company called Borealis out of Wells, Maine since March 1st of 2007.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter is graduating college this year from UNH.
Nice.
My oldest daughter is having a baby on July 22nd.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she's all excited. Isabella's youngest, I forgot, she was born in 2000. But anyhow, so that's on my mind, between baby showers, babies, graduations, stuff like that. But and I've been working at Borealis, like I said, since 2007. But last year, I had an opportunity to help Crystal Fay, and he asked me if I would come on because him and my best friend Brian had a horse together, and I said, sure, I'd love to. So, and then he asked me again this year if I would come on, absolutely. I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything.
Awesome.
So that's what's going on right now.
So
Great guy to work for.
you got to drive in amateurs last year.
Hadn't drove since 2006.
It
Not
must
behind the
have-
gate. I ain't even behind the gate.
It must have been awesome, though, when you
It was
finished.
like old hat. It was like old hat. Because I showboated through the stretch a little bit, only because I said, you know what? They find me so bad, but I'm having fun.
Yeah.
This one time,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was right. And the most funny part about the whole thing, the last race I just won, the top one was the first race I won when I won my first race in '75.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really unique.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That is
It was
awesome. So what's it like driving in the amateurs?
Oh, yeah. It's like, it reminded me a lot when I was a kid of bumper cars.
Yes.
But all in a good way. But you know what I mean? All in
Wow.
a good way. All in a
Yeah.
good way. They're not out to hurt nobody.
No.
They're out to have fun, and it's probably one of the, you can't go on the race and have a plan, but in the amateurs, you don't need a plan. Because God only knows. God only knows.
What's gonna happen.
Exactly. Make sure the vest is tightened, the helmet chin is on a little bit more tightened, you'll be okay.
Yeah, it is nerve-wracking. I stand at the fence and I'm gripping the fence, like, please. And I'm watching them go down the back stretch, bump. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. But all great guys. All
Well,
great
and it
guys.
seems like that group is actually growing. Like,
Yeah.
there's a bigger, it was really competitive this year, which was awesome to see.
When I was race secretary at Scarborough, some of our best betting races were amateurs.
And yeah.
Amateurs were some of
Well,
our
it's kind of a
best betting
crapshoot.
races. Exactly right. That's right. Put a dollar on number 7. Good luck.
Yeah. It is fun to watch, and I do enjoy. I know Bangor had decided not, to get away from amateurs. It was exciting to see Cumberland actually bring that back.
Yeah.
And really run 2 good, the spring summer meet and then the fall winter meet. Two good series.
Mark had a great way of putting it together. That was the way to do it. Mark did a perfect job of putting them in races. This class and that class. That's the way to do it. That was the way to do it.
Well, and I think having Blue Seal came on as a great corporate sponsor of that. I know that Joe Burke was getting ready to send some checks out or maybe present some checks at the track. Win-win for everybody.
Yep.
So hopefully that will grow.
Well, their promotion went good because they put in some treats for the horses, and now I'm buying them all the time for Christmas horses for track because they see me come through the door, they go like they're crazy. I gotta have those treats. So now they got a good customer because I'm there all the time, and that's what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're going to be helping Chris.
Yeah.
Do you jog, train,
Yes.
paddock,
Yep.
all of it, all the
of it.
above?
Yep, all the above.
And are you guys based out of Cumberland?
Cumberland right now, yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
So the track, we are going to start racing in less than 3 weeks.
The 8th.
So you've been over the track then.
Right.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, Mother Nature has been good to us so
Yes,
far.
the track is awesome. Right now, Bruce Kelton has done a heck of a job on that track. That track is awesome, and I mean awesome. And because Chris gives me a few of horses to take care of that top end horses. You know what I mean? Like Spindle, who was the horse of the year last year, was a great honor for him because he's just a nice old boy. I think he's part human. I'm not sure because him and I have a good rapport with each other on the track. He'll stop 3 or 4 times and look around for a couple minutes and then look back at me. Or if I have to get off, he takes his time. The horse is amazing. Absolutely, he cracks me out. He cracks me out.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you have the same horses you work with all
every day. Yeah, we have what we call this the A team and the B team.
Yeah.
I have the A team. Chris has got the minor leaguers over here.
Yeah.
That's what he's dealing with. Yeah.
Well, if that works,
he's the best boss.
That's awesome.
Great guy. He does a lot for the horsemen where they need vehicles because he works for a dealership.
Oh yeah.
Up in Wisconsin, Florida, I guess it is. Yeah. And he does a great job. You know, I mean, he treats everybody good. He treats all of us good over there.
Well, keeping health nowadays is, and especially I really feel that our industry is struggling because it's work.
Yeah. Oh, it's work.
It's not just standing behind a register. It's actually physical. It's physical labor.
Horsemen and horsewomen in our business are unique. They will take care of an animal like no other person I've ever seen. They love their animals.
Yeah.
They can't wait to go to work. And they can't wait to do this stuff. And they can't wait when the day is done to sit back and take a break and talk to people. You know what I mean? But them horses come first. They really, really enjoy it. It's a craft above none.
Yeah.
What the people do with these horses.
Well, I think Maine too is we're really fortunate, and I've felt this even the industry. We're a sport, we're entertainment, we're agriculture. You don't find many industries that have that combination. But also, I feel like we have a great niche here because our horses. There's only a few tracks that our horses could actually make it at. They come to Maine every year. We have multiple 14-year-olds that are retiring.
Yeah.
It's a true testament to the horsemanship because
to the care that the animal would get after the race all the time.
yeah, to race that many years.
That is correct.
It's just
And I knew when I worked for Houghton down there, if anybody lived in the New England, they'd hire them 2 seconds. They'd hire anybody who worked in New England, they'd hire them in 2 seconds.
Work
Because
ethic.
Yep, exactly. Bar none.
Yeah.
Bar none. And our horsemen are the same way. Same way.
yeah, it is pretty
They might,
amazing.
yeah, it is. It's very amazing.
Yeah, they might get at each other.
It's a sporting event. It's a sporting event. That's going to
Yeah.
happen. That's going to happen.
Competition.
It's gonna happen.
Healthy competition is not a bad thing
No, it is not.
at all.
No.
At all. So now you were telling me when we first got here that baseball is your love, your other love.
Yes.
So tell me about what you do in baseball.
Well, baseball is. I try to do the program, like going to the high schools and stuff like that, and working. And I love to go to games, and I love to be behind the scenes. I don't. I'm not one to wear on my sleeve. You know, I just go about my business, and that's it. But the Red Sox, of course, since 2004, really found they had something to cheer for. But one of the most years ago, Dr. Burns had a girl working for him named Jill, and she worked for an outfit, Buddy LaRue, who was one of the ownerships of the Red Sox back in the early 90s, late 80s. And she said, "Do you want to come to the Red Sox game with me sometime?" I said, "I'd love to." And I went, and I got a signed ball from Wade Boggs, and a couple others too. I came up Wade Boggs was the most important one at the time. And it was up in Buddy LaRue's suite. We'll have all the food and the Diet Pepsi you want. And it was really, really awesome. But I love the high school part of it. The high school part of it's the best. I mean, Winter has a great program. I mean, they built a new addition on the school about 20-something years ago now. I know, about 18 years ago. They got the training they do now with the weightlifting and all that stuff is nothing I ever had when I played high school. Nothing. But, they're just so much more. And I think like you had said too is true. It's 12 months a year now. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go anywhere and play baseball. You know, with the enclosures of the buildings. There's one in Westbrook too, as well.
We just dropped, David. We better pick this back up. Always something funny happening with Fun to the Finish, right?
That's what they call it.
Yeah. This is Fun to the Finish. Now I can't see you, David. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties, and I think we're even crooked now a little bit. So you're involved with baseball, you're involved with harness racing. Are there any other things that you really enjoy doing?
I used to like to play cards a lot. You
Yeah.
know what I mean, I don't go to the casinos. I don't like that stuff. I like to play just poker. But otherwise than that, no. Very much I do. Work, sleep, eat.
Horse around.
Yeah, horse around.
Eat. We've talked about food a lot today. Hopefully we're going to get some good grub.
I'm sure we will.
For sure. So you talked a little bit about trying to get the horsemen more money. So if there's, this industry, you've been in it for a long time. It's obviously near and dear to your heart.
Correct.
You want it to stay.
Correct.
What are a couple things that you would make a priority on? Are there rule changes that we should be looking at? What can we be doing? The Horsemen's Association, the Commission, state. What could we be doing to make sure that this industry stays
Viable?
Viable, yeah.
That's a loaded question. I think, well, we're at the point now where we're relying on OTB parlors and we're relying on our simulcast going out. But the fan doesn't get a chance, unless it's Saturday or Sunday, to come to the races like they used to at night.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody has to work. And Maine's population is a 9 to 5, 8 to 4 job. And they'd come to the track, have their dinner sometimes, and watch the races. That's what they would do. But we lost that. We kind of lost the hands-on. And that's one of the biggest things is that we've got to get that back. We've got to do some type of a massive drive. And that's something that, like I said, 5, 6, 7 tennis guys sit down and think about this.
Yeah.
Because without the new blood, we're going one at a time. We can't have that. We can't. There's money to be made in this business. And the second biggest thing, and I have been a proponent of this forever, is we cannot race 8 months a year. You can't do it in the state of Maine. And I don't want. I hear, bad weather. Well, let me tell you something, boys and girls. I remember going to Lewiston Raceway in the 1st of February in a blinding snowstorm with a 2-wheel drive pickup and a horse trail in the back. And guess what? I made it there okay back. I raced. I made it there. And if we don't race at night, we gotta make a way to get the fan there. But maybe one day a week at night. Maybe pick one day a week at night. That's the two main thing. The main thing is we got to race more than 8 months a year. It's just no way. And if you have to, look, sometimes there's over $7 million in the purse account. When you're taking 2.9% of that money, that's not a lot. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because what you want, you're investing in yourself. When you make money at purse checks, you buy a truck and trailer, you're investing in yourself. I don't want to get a track 25. Well, you know what? Then you're not going to race for it. You got to give them the money, just so they can go back and race, open the doors, keep the cash flowing.
Yeah.
You have to do it. You really have to do it.
Well, hopefully, I think the hard part, because I'm right on board with you. Like overnights has roughly 5.5 million. What is the best thing for the industry to stay viable? How is the best that we spend that money?
Okay, you mean for purse money you're talking about?
Yeah.
Increase the purses as much as you can. Okay, and listen, I know we don't have a pot to work with.
Yeah.
I understand that, but in order for somebody to get into this business, you can't get into business racing 8 months a year.
I know it is. Yeah.
That is that's a criteria. That has to be done. Whether you just I guess like we're doing now. If you're gonna race just 2 days a weekend, so what? You know what? If you cancel, no big deal. But you can race the following weekend.
Yeah. So do you think, so you're at Cumberland. So have you been, did you stay after racing was over? Did you stay jogging or did Chris?
I got hurt
That's right,
December 4th.
Yeah.
In the paddock. And I was in bed for 3 weeks and I didn't work anywhere for 3 weeks. And I told Chris I can't do anything till sometime in February.
Yeah.
So
do you think, obviously Maine can be brutal. Mike Cushing shared a video with me. Farmington, one of their manholes their drains got froze up, so there's actually water going over the track, for a solid day. So, do you think, racing more than 8 months, which I totally agree with you, because how do you not work, how do you not make money for 4 months and still survive? So what do you think, shutting down, maybe March and April, let the thaw come out of the tracks, or February and March, what are you thinking? Are you thinking go right straight through?
No, you get to take a month off. January you take a month off. That's it. Race up until Christmas, take a month off, then come back to the 1st of February. And listen, like anything, you've got to pick a time to race when you're not going to deal with the frost coming out of the ground. And then you also have to, and listen, it costs money.
Yeah.
But you're going to invest that money to get mixed salt into the track, and you can keep that track viable all the time.
Yeah.
Lewiston was a great example. When you go jogging with Lewiston, warm up, melt, the heat in the mouth, all you taste is salt. That's all you can taste. You know what I mean? But you just got to work at it.
I've never experienced that.
Yeah. I don't mind salt in my food, but I don't want to.
Well, I do know that, if you look up in Canada, They're racing.
How do they do?
They race all the time. And they're like, that's a premier establishment.
Yeah.
Woodbine, Mohawk. I think they combined. I can't remember what they call it now, but Woodbine Entertainment or something.
And those figures I gave you about giving everybody's money for 6,
Yeah.
7, and 8 and doing the track, that was taken away $50. No, a lot. I was taking away $300 from each purse. That's all that was.
Yeah.
Taking away $300. $150 for fifth, $150 for winning, or $15 for
Yeah. Hopefully someday we'll get to that point where
we will, but maybe with this new gaming bill coming along, I mean, it's like anything. You can only stretch $1 so far. You can only stretch $1 so far.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can't race for less money and go more months. That doesn't even make any sense.
Well, and that's really been like the hard thing to explain to people, because I mean, if you look at the calendar, because being the race secretary, I mean, Scarborough at one point was racing 115 days.
Yeah.
I mean, now we've got First Tracks is going to race 52 days this year. The fairs are going to race 52 days this year. And then we've got Bangor that I believe is racing 40, 45 in there. So, I mean, we've dropped considerably, which has allowed us to raise our purses. But our base purse is still only like 3,400 maybe.
It's not with inflation.
So how do you, I mean, that's, you've got to go back to the drawing board and reconfigure what we're doing.
The state is first. The state is the first to help the lobster industry, help the woods industry, but they don't mind taking our money from the gambling all the time, going into the general fund, do they? Or the fines going to the general. They don't mind doing that, getting something for nothing.
Yeah.
That's got to stop. That's got to stop. They can do something sunset something for 3 or 4 years, but they got to stop that.
Yeah.
They got to stop. They've just been raking, because years ago when they bet $100 million, they were doing okay. But that little bit now will help. That little bit will help. Every little bit's going to help.
Yeah. I will say, positive note, there's been two or three new members this year, which I'm excited. So there are some folks at least partially getting in. I know one gentleman I spoke to, he actually did get back in the industry. He's been gone since 76. So that's exciting. And then this other girl, so I'm not sure if she owns a whole horse or just, part, but there is some people getting back into it. I totally agree with you with the fan thing, because talking to the fans, getting that one-on-one, it's building a relationship.
Absolutely. The marketing part of it, we've got to reach out. We've got to reach out and pull these people in. You got to reach out and pull them in, but you got to have something to pull them into.
Yeah. So do you have any ideas about marketing? Things like you think maybe we could try, we could work on?
I would, they have the cars at the mall.
Yeah.
Beach Ridge is gone now, but
yeah.
We got to make ourselves more out there. You can market to all the business industries all you want, but if the races are at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they don't get out of work to 5. You're wasting money.
Yeah.
You're wasting money.
Yeah, I know that's been a huge thing, because I'll be honest, at first I was like, why are we not racing at night? Because I totally get it. And then the simulcast dollars, like Friday night not going head-to-head with Yonkers or Meadowlands, fighting for those dollars. And I mean, it's definitely not an easy
And also
solution.
Nowadays, as you know, you don't even have to get off your couch anymore, man.
No, I know.
You don't even have to get... So, it's almost to the point where you can race at night, but the people who are going to bet on your product can come to the track anyhow.
I know, it's really frustrating.
And so now they can bet at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the office, and nobody knows, But the main thing is we got to know that we're open. We got to know that we're open. We got to know that we are open. These people, a lot of people don't even know. I mean, even when I was racing through Scarborough, you guys are open now? It's July, yeah. We've been open. You should be able to go to the store and get programs, or there'd be something in the window, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we took a turn. And I don't know why we took that turn.
Yeah.
Money, probably.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, the newspaper, because I had a lot of people ask me, why are you guys not on the newspaper? Why are you not? they wanted like a $15,000 marketing package to. Who's got that kind of money to? Because then the thing too about newspapers, are they here? Are they going?
Right.
They're kind of somewhat turning obsolete. And so yeah, how do you know where?
But I think it's something with a collect a bunch of people. We have a little summit, whatever, with people. I think we could come up,
So are
okay,
you volunteering yourself?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'd love to be the chairman. And you have this bunch of money, and we're going to do this and this with it, and everybody come up. Okay, how are we going to do it? Tell me how we're going to do this.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, we can do it. I think we can do it.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, and I'll say this, and not to be like mean or anything. I think the thing that's frustrating with the groups, and I think they all come up with awesome ideas. It's the group after that has to put those ideas in motion. Because I looked at a 2010 ad hoc committee that got together about racing. I don't even think one of those things ever came to fruition, which is frustrating because you have people that are willing to get together, invest the time. Let's also find the people that are willing to put in motion.
Right.
I found Breeders ad hoc committee that met in 16. Same thing. They tried one thing, didn't really push it to fruition, and then we're still in the same situation. So I definitely think, if you're willing to be the chairperson,
I would donate my time. Yes, absolutely.
We definitely need.
And you need it from this little group, this little group, this little group, naysayers little group. You need everybody. You need everybody.
Well, yeah, because I think that if you got 5 people together that just all agreed,
Yeah, I don't like that. I hate when people just nod their head.
Yeah.
I want you to say something.
Yeah.
Say something.
Yeah, because it's okay if we disagree, but that's how we get to different.
I don't hate anybody if you disagree with me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I think that's great because I think sometimes we recirculate like the same ideas and then we still aren't doing anything.
Right.
So definitely pulling people together that maybe have never sat on an ad hoc committee before. Like getting different blood involved.
Yeah.
And you've been, if you started in 1974, I was born in 1973. I love it. Teffy Varnum posted a picture the other day, I think from 1974, with her dad.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I thought, oh my goodness. Yeah. So we can survive. This industry can most certainly survive.
We can survive.
But it's definitely changing with the times.
And we get changed with the times.
Yeah.
We're going to have to change with them. Even if we don't get the racing at night, and you reach out to these businesses, let them, and if this sports betting thing ever come up, this will be a godsend to us, is you can really go to IDEX and everybody else in this state and give them a number or whatever they got to call to make this gamble, and give them whatever they need to start them up to gamble.
Yeah. What do you think about corporate memberships?
Absolutely.
I've kind of been toying with that idea of why. I think First Tracks, Mike Chinchet's idea of Tuesday at the Tracks was awesome to bring in other industries. But yeah, I was thinking Blue Seal stepping up, being a corporate sponsor of Maine Amateur last year. But I'm thinking, why do we not have, like I was thinking MHHA. Like I have people that can be associate members, but could I do like a corporate membership where they get X, Y, and Z, which would include come to the track. Today is going to be a day just about IDEX. Any IDEX member that can, employee that can come, you're going to get a free program. You're going to go to the winner's circle. You're going to meet drivers. Really trying to, because I think that's really, like you said, the outreach, building those relationships.
Even in NASCAR, I'm not a big NASCAR fan, but at Beach Ridge, you can always buy what they call a pit pass.
Yeah.
But $25, and you can go in and walk around and see the drivers. Even if you say, listen, this particular day, you, for instance, can walk 10 or 15 people through the paddock just to see what's going on. Just how the sausage is made, as they say. You know what I mean? That's all.
So I want to tell you.
Just stop that a little
Yeah,
bit.
that piece right there, I think, is crucial to our industry because anybody can be involved in our industry. Anybody. I don't own a horse, but I have one of the best jobs in the industry.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I absolutely love it. But so I had 2 gentlemen come see me last year, and I'll be honest with you, and Kirby, if you're listening to this, don't take this personal. I thought it was kind of odd. Like, they had this memorial race, and really no connection to harness racing except this memorial race because their grandfather had always sent him to play the daily double at Freiburg. I was like, this is kind of odd. But okay, they wanted to recognize, and they did recognize Heath, because Heath had won their memorial 5 times. So, God loved them.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, they opened my eyes to a new perspective. And a perspective that I think a lot of us are missing. They've never owned a horse. It was just this blanket, this one blanket at Freiburg. They came into the paddock and they presented the plaque to Drew to give to Heath because Heath was already in Florida. They were looking at drivers and starstruck. That's what we have.
Exactly.
I mean, they were like, oh my God, there's Aaron Hall. Oh my God, Bruce Ranger. They brought a program and had Bruce Ranger sign it, Walter Kay sign it, Kevin Switzer Jr. I mean, they were like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I mean, I don't take these guys for granted. I mean, I definitely know they're talented, but to have someone that's always been on the other side of the fence be able to come in, it was like, it's giving me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, we have that ability.
Yes, we do.
We have that ability.
We have professional people that drive racehorses.
Yeah.
Whether you're a baseball player or a basketball, those are professional athletes. They don't just get on a sulky and go. You know what I mean? There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff they have to learn, and the physical fitness of it all.
Yeah. So I definitely think that doing paddock tours, getting meet and greets with the drivers is we have an asset.
Yeah.
And our horses, I think, even, I mean, never die. He being bred and born in Maine, staying with the same trainer his entire life. The horse is a superstar.
Isn't that a story in itself?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there are pieces that we're not promoting, we're not utilizing. That, you know what, they're right at our fingertips and don't cost us a thing.
I can't say don't cost a nickel.
Yeah.
Don't cost a nickel. And
Yeah.
so if it did cost $100, who cares?
Yeah.
You get them in
Well,
there.
it's not. Yeah.
You get them in there.
Well, and I think too, it's good for our, I think it's good for our drivers. I mean, I'm sure the mundane of actually just always, I know they love it, but the grind, doing the grind every day. And I think actually having people that will appreciate, like, oh my God, I just got to meet Drew Campbell.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know, for Drew, even though he's send him Drew,
Yeah.
that still has to be rewarding and knowing that someone is recognizing what you're doing. I know that Drew would like it to be a 30-year-old woman all the time, but I just think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
And
You're correct. Listen, it's all free advertisement. It's free. It doesn't cost a nickel. You got to get these people out there. So you walk into the pack and out before post times.
Yeah.
So what? We got to do it. We have to do that. But I think a round table of 5, 6, 7, 10 people, we can do it. I really
Yeah.
do. I think we can
Well, I
come
think
out.
the new ideas. Yeah.
Right.
Most
Right.
definitely.
There's
It's
gonna
a
be-
win-win.
There's going to be somebody sitting in that chair that's going to come up with a better idea than I have. Good. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
run with it.
Let's do it.
We can do it. We can do it. It's a critical point in our industry now to do it.
Yeah.
Because there might not be too many tomorrows if we don't get this rolling. And I don't want to be an old man and not have to not be able to go to the races.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, awesome, David.
Yes.
This has been an awesome conversation.
Thank
I
you
knew
very
it would
much,
be
Dad.
anyway. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it because anytime I've ever talked to you, I've always learned something from you. In your humbleness, I mean, when I saw you at the banquet, because I knew, Air Spender was getting, his award. I was glad that you came. I'm sorry about the food. We're changing venues next year. But it was so awesome to see you in your positive attitude, your huge smile. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you where you haven't at least smiled once while I've seen you.
Here's something you don't know about me. If I'm not happy, I don't want to do it. And this sport makes me happy.
Yeah.
Everybody makes me happy in there. The drivers that I've known for years, the new people coming up that I go talk to, they don't know who David Sawyer is. They think it's just some guy that just happened, an old man that just showed up and here he is. I've been around a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's just, I like to help everybody. And Dakota Jackson was one of them last year. I enjoyed that kid. And that kid's doing good down at the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
I enjoy. He came up, he didn't know me, but he talked to me. We was in the amateur races together, asked me a few questions. Good kid.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
Great kid.
Good kid.
I'm really hoping he comes back this year.
I hope he does too, but I don't think he is, but I hope he does.
Yeah.
You know, but that's, you know, even when I race horses and got beat, you walk by me and you won. Congratulations, geez, your horse race good.
Yeah.
Sure, eats me on the inside a little bit, but you know what? Yeah, you can't deny it.
No.
They beat me,
Well,
so much than something, right?
You can't, I mean, can you imagine if, yeah, it'd be nice for your bank account if your horse won every week,
Yep.
but that's not really even reality.
No.
Or realistic to think that your horse is going to win every week.
No, yeah, we all think we are. We all think we are, but it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But anyhow, that's the sport that whenever I go, I just want to make sure everybody knew I put a smile on their face in this industry.
Yeah.
And if they ask me a question, I would give them my opinion. And a lot of times when they ask me my opinion, I'd say, you better sit down first.
It's going to be a conversation. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Because you do, like I said before, when I sat down with the three of you, the race secretaries, it was probably one of the most beneficial meetings that I have ever had the pleasure of sitting in on, because I knew what you guys did. You put races together. But I mean, you guys, that is probably the toughest job in the industry. And I just, so anytime I can learn something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it just, if someone calls me and says, hey Debbie, why did da-da-da-da? Well, I'm sorry, I'll have to get back to you.
Right.
It's embarrassing a little bit.
Well, not.
But I like to be able to at least point people in the right direction.
Listen, if somebody asks me a question, I would tell them, let me call you back. Let me just, I'll find out. You know.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I always enjoy seeing you at the track.
Yeah.
Loved seeing you in the winner's circle.
Yeah, I know.
I think I was on the
fun.
other side of the track, jumping up and down.
I couldn't believe everybody came on the winner's circle too. That was nice.
Yeah.
Bruce Ranger and Drew and everybody came on. That was pretty cool.
I think that is one thing about our industry. We're all competitive with each other, but 9 times out of 10, the majority are always there to celebrate with you.
Absolutely. And you know what? They might walk by and say, you son of a gun. But if you were down and needed something, that's the same person will be right there helping you.
Yeah.
We're all family.
Yeah.
You know how it is with family. You don't always get along, but when they need
Yeah.
something, you can't talk to my sister that way.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but they're a big, that's one thing that really was a big family unit with me, was everybody. And I've known all these guys for years. And I'm having more fun than ever. And if I go tonight, I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm anxious to see you back in the bike this year, for sure. I hope I get to see you in the winner's circle again.
Try.
And I'll be trucking over there to get in the picture.
You better this time.
Because I'm gonna be doing your crash diet. So I mean, here's the proof it works. But I definitely want to thank you, David, for meeting me. And
I want to thank you and the MHHA and everybody involved. That if I can ever do anything for you, you know what I mean. I don't offer myself out there, but if you ask me, yeah. And I already told them, we had a little joke with Michael at the banquet. I said, when you have an MC next year, have me do it, please.
Do you want to do it?
Oh, I told him, yeah, absolutely.
That was kind of a weird thing.
Nothing
I felt
against anybody,
bad
but
for that guy.
when they said Air Splendor,
Yes.
I went up to him and I said, excuse me, can you say Air Splendor over that microphone for me? But it was all in fun, you know what I mean? I wasn't mad at him.
Yeah.
It was just,
Well, everything can't always be perfect.
no, but I had the greatest time. But that's just where
Yeah.
you go. I mean, you don't have to be ugly. I just, no, it's a joke. It's listen. It's
No.
fine.
Yeah.
But I had a great time there, and if I can ever do anything for you people, I really feel free to ask. Because
Well,
if I don't
definitely-
know, I can't help.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely be calling on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to.
Because you have some awesome ideas that will definitely. It can't hurt.
Listen, right? And
Can't hurt.
If it doesn't work, oh well.
We tried something,
You keep
though.
moving, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like anything when you go somewhere and you ask a question. If they say no, well, it's not the end of the world. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully, David, I'm going to see you in the winner's circle.
Yes, you will. I hope.
Thank you, fans. I appreciate you listening in, and I look forward to our next interview. If you would like to be on Fun to the Finish podcast, please contact me at the MHHA office at 207-623-6224, or reach me. We just powered off. I think we just made it on the camera, David.
Oh my God.
But so reach out, folks, if you would like to be I can't even talk now. I'm all tongue-tied. We talked for 51 minutes, and I'm losing it now. So if you'd like to be on Fun to Finish podcast, please reach out. I would love to sit down and talk to you about harness racing. See you soon.
Didn't seem like it was that long.
See, I'm technically challenged now. And now we don't want to shut off.